Welcome to another vlog. It's so good to have you guys. Today I'll be making chicken stew, then a combination of cow head and goat's meat stew. You need to fry your ginger and garlic paste and onions. For this particular stew, I really wanted to fry my onions dry, and that gave it a peculiar flavor. Then I added the tomato base. When cooking different flavored stew, the trick is to fry the tomato based ones. Then, like I'm doing now, when it's time to add my meat stock, I separate, or when the stew is fully fried, I separate it into the different portions that I would need. I added curry. I also added thyme. Basically, I added all the spices, right? Yeah, so I added thyme. It's funny how I'm going back and forth with two pots. I also added rosemary, and I also added this chicken flavor. I use it for my chicken stews. It gives it a really nice flavor. I added beef seasoning for the beef stew. Then this General Kitchen Glory chicken spice, I put it in both of the pots. I like to add fresh onions when my stew is fully fried for that fresh onion flavor. So yes, we have the fried onion flavor, and then we have the fresh onion flavor. You see this step, it is very, very important. I was just trying to test if it was okay. I added Knorr cubes to the soup base. I also added salt. I didn't put too much because the meat stock was already seasoned. This is me transferring the chicken into the chicken stew and the meat into the meat base stew. Everything is already looking good at this point in time. The chicken stew is ready. I just allowed this to simmer for some minutes. Look at this goodness, super delicious. And I forgot to show how I portioned this, but we are on to the next day now. This was me sorting out my protein that I was going to use for the soup. I used my pressure pot for quick cooking, and that works for me. This was my egusi paste. I added fresh onion and crayfish and pepper into it, hence it's looking like a paste. Then this is the groundnut soup paste. This is groundnut, fresh onion and fresh pepper. Look at this goodness. This is my ogbono. So when you're cooking ogbono, you have to melt it inside palm oil, which I did. I already put, this is pomo and stockfish. I already put this into the other soups. This particular one was for the egusi soup that I'm making now. So I put that ogbono plate inside the ogbono pot that had meat inside to simmer so it will melt. Groundnut soup is one of the easiest soups to cook. That was my meat base already. That just had meat, stock and meat. Then I added the groundnut. You let it cook, and that's it. Look at it, already looking semi-ready. So you have to, turn it so that there will be no lump and it's pasty. When I'm cooking my egusi, I've been using this recipe for a while now, and it bangs. Using yellow pepper also gives your egusi or your soup in general an amazing flavor. So I used fresh pepper as well. So the key to making a very delicious egusi soup is to fry your tomato and pepper paste. I added snail to my groundnut soup. Let me tell you that since I started doing that, groundnut soup has not been tasting regular again. I did that by mistake, and it ended up coming out really good. This is me adding crayfish to the soup, the groundnut soup. I would also add in the egusi base as well. At this point, the groundnut soup is almost ready. I added red oil to seal it. Now this is me adding the meat into the ogbono base. The ogbono has already melted. I also added the meat into the egusi base as well. Let it simmer. Added the stockfish and the momo, little diced momo. Let it simmer. Look at this goodness. So I tested this to ensure that I didn't need extra ingredients. The key is to using bitter leaf for my groundnut soup because without it, it's too sweet. Then I also added the ogbono into the ogbono base while the groundnut soup was simmering and look at the ogbono soup. It's not really drawing because it's still thick. It has to cook. The groundnut soup came out delicious. Look at it already. At this point in time, it is ready. Now time for my egusi base. So I added the egusi into the stock. Let it boil. At this point in time, I'm almost done with cooking already. I just let this steam, cook the egusi for some time, then stir the whole mix. This is what you have. I have to rinse the remaining egusi paste so that it doesn't waste. I added periwinkle into the ogbono because it makes it yummy. Hence, me adding it. This ogbono did not really draw. I don't know what's with ogbono this of late. It doesn't really draw and I don't know why, but it still came out very delicious. All I had to do was stir this and ensure that there was no lump. Then added vegetable inside as well. Now this is me stirring the egusi soup because it has simmered or boiled for some time. I think the highlight of this soup was the egusi soup. Every time I'm cooking egusi soup for the family or for the month, anytime I'm cooking soup for the month, I always make egusi soup. Look at this goodness now. Sometimes when you cook, you have to hype yourself, not because you're hyping it for hyping it, but because it is very delicious. I have literally hacked egusi soup cooking. So this is me adding vegetable into both the egusi soup and the ogbono soup. You can see those boiling bubbles ready. This was the portioned soup. That was the groundnut soup. This was the egusi soup. And the other bowl, that was the ogbono soup. This lasted me for a month because I had family come over. But if it's just me and my family, this would last us for 2 months. See you next time. Bye guys.